Drying up. friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. You can repeat. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives, present before me, in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering, and my mouth drying up. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualifications, by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. As such, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them, who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver, and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna. Although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but to his soft-heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is said, therefore, Yashakti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvaya Vinharistatra Samathe Sura Harava Bhaktasya Juto Mahatuna Manoratena Sati Bhavato Bhai. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Om Jnana So we're hearing Arjuna, how he is in a very difficult situation. Who's translating? Everybody listening? Do you usually give class in English or you give class in Tamil? Okay. Everybody understand English? Do you want Tamil translation? Tamil, English then?
Okay.
No, she cannot. Anyway, okay, so Arjuna is on the battlefield and he saw on the opposite side, he could see people who were worthy of his worship, particularly Bhishma, his grandfather, and Drona, his teacher, Drona Acharya, his guru, teacher, who he respected deeply. So Arjuna saw also all of his different relatives headed by the family of Dhritarashtra, the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. They all come to fight with him. And so many other relatives also. They were all fighting, going to fight with him. So Arjuna is perplexed. He thinks, this is not very good, that I'm going to fight against so many of my family. Prabhupada said, Arjuna is not soft-hearted. He's not cowardly. He's not afraid. But it's his compassion for them. Arjuna knows he can fight these people and he can kill them. But he thinks, this is not very good, not very proper. A devotee by nature is non-violent, right? We're meant to be non-violent. We're not meant to kill other forms of life. And Srila Prabhupada, one time there were many mosquitoes in his room. And the devotee went into the room and started killing all the mosquitoes. And Prabhupada said, don't make my room into a crematorium. He didn't like that they were killing so many insects. Prabhupada was always concerned for other forms of life. One time somebody cut a tree. There was a tree growing. And somebody cut it because it was going to obstruct the building. And Prabhupada chastised the devotee and said, you will suffer. You cut the tree, you will suffer. So trees are also living entities. Of course, people argue, well, you Hare Krishna people, you kill plants, you take the plants and kill them. Yes, we do. We will take, for example, rice and wheat and so many different things which grow. We will harvest them from the fields. So you could say, oh, we're killing. But there's a difference between the life of a plant and the life of an animal. Just as there's a difference between the life of a person and the life of an animal. They're not the same. Animals and people are different. In the same way, plants and animals are also different. Animals have more consciousness than than the plants. The plants, the trees and so on, they are conscious, but their consciousness is restricted by the body which they're in. So the plants are provided as proper food for the human body. Not only for the humans, plants are also there for the animals. Just like if you try to grow rice, the birds will all come and they will eat it. I was in Mayapur during the COVID and we had some land there and the devotee trying to grow rice. Oh, I've never seen so many birds before. All the birds came every day to have a big feast on the rice because we were growing it without using any chemicals. We wanted to grow it purely. But because there were no chemicals, the birds all knew, oh, this is a good rice. We can have this. And they came, so many birds, all different sizes and colors and varieties, all came and they enjoyed the rice. We did not harvest much rice. So, anyway, the birds, they have to eat. We also have to eat. Right? Nature provides for the birds. And nature also provides for human beings. Of course, we have to cultivate, we have to do the work. We cultivate the land, and we grow the plants, and so on, and we produce food. And that food is grains, vegetables, they are proper food for the human being. You could say we are killing, but it's a different violence from the people who kill the animals. You kill an animal, it's not a very pleasant business. The animals are crying and they try to run away and there's so much blood everywhere. It's a very disgusting business. If you go to the slaughterhouse and see them killing animals, you will not think about eating meat for some time. So, that is violence, unnecessary violence. But to take the plants, to kill the plants, we don't really kill them, we wait till they're ready to harvest. Then they're going to die, they're near to death at that point. And that's when they provide the food for the people. Not only for the people, for the animals also. So, violence can be used in the proper way. Just like in the Manu Samhita, Manu Samhita is a law book for mankind. It describes that a person who is a murderer, he should be hanged. He should be killed. If he's killed someone, then he should be killed. So that is proper violence. You could say, oh, that's violence. But that is proper violence. Someone has killed someone, he should be punished. If he is not punished, then in the next life, he will suffer very much. He will get a very bad birth in the next life. So the punishment takes away the reaction of his sin and allows him to progress. So the punishment which he receives is actually good for his progress. Another kind of violence which is necessary, sometimes there is a disturbance within the society. The law and order may be disturbed by all the disturbance in the society, people protesting and so on, revolting. So sometimes the government will send in the military to restore law and order. So that is proper use of violence. So violence is not a bad thing if it's used properly. So here at Kurukshetra, Arjuna had been brought with the Pandavas. They had come there to fight the sons of Dhritarashtra. And both the Kauravas and the Pandavas had got their supporters. The Kauravas, the sons of Dhritarashtra, had a lot of support. And they had great warriors also, particularly Bhishma and Drona. And the Pandavas, they had a much smaller army. But of course they were also blessed because they were the Pandavas. And they had, most important of all, they had Lord Krishna on their side. Right? Arjuna wanted Krishna to be on his side. Duryodhana, he was happy to get Krishna's army. But Arjuna wanted Krishna. Even though Krishna said, I'm not going to fight. But Arjuna just wanted to have Krishna with him. So that was in the favor of the Pandavas. There were other factors which were also favoring the Pandavas. Although their army was much smaller, they were blessed to have Lord Krishna, and they were blessed also that the battle was taking place at Kurukshetra, which is a holy place. The Bhagavad Gita begins, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. The Kurukshetra is a place of Dharma. It's a place of religiosity. And they had chosen to go there to settle the dispute. The Pandavas and the Kauravas, they had always great difficulty to cooperate with each other. There was a lot of tension between the two families. Although they're actually one family, they were made into two. The Pandavas are also Kauravas. The Pandavas were also, they were the sons of Pandu, and Pandu was the brother of Dhritarashtra. So the Pandavas were also Kauravas, but Dhritarashtra separated the Pandavas and the Kauravas, his own sons. In the very first verse, Dhritarashtra said, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? So they made a distinction between his sons and the sons of Pandu. Although they're one family, they separated. Why? Because of the desire for power. Dhritarashtra was actually the eldest son. He was the eldest son, but he was born blind. So because he was born blind, he could not be the king. So then the second son became the king. Second son was Pandu. And Pandu had his 5 sons, Pandavas. But then Maharaj Pandu died. He died prematurely, very young. His children, the Pandavas, were still very young. So when Pandu died, then there was nobody else to be the king except Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra is blind. But anyway, there's nobody else, so he has to be the king. But he has 100 sons, and naturally he wanted the best for his sons. This is the bodily conception of life. We think about myself, we think I am the body, and we think my children, they're extensions of my body. We have so much affection for our own children. Right? Prabhupada said, a woman will love all children, but she has a special love for her own children. And you see Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra, although he is blind, he has so much love for his sons, and he does not have any feeling for the Pandavas. Although they are his nephews, although Dhritarashtra is their guardian, their uncle, he is meant to take care of them, but he wants to get rid of them. And that's why they wanted the battle of Kurukshetra. They thought if we have the battle of Kurukshetra, then surely we can kill the Pandavas. We can defeat them in battle. Because we have so many great fighters on our side. So we will kill all the Pandavas in the battle. This was the thinking, and Dhritarashtra wanted this. So it came to the day of the battle, and Arjuna comes into the middle of the battlefield, and he saw, he asked, Lord Krishna is driving the chariot for Arjuna. Lord Krishna is known as Partha, the chariot driver of Arjuna. Arjuna is Partha, son of Pita. So Lord Krishna is driving the chariot, and Arjuna is telling him, take my chariot into the middle of the battlefield. I want to see all the people here. So Lord Krishna is driving, yes, and he takes it right in front of Bhishma and Drona. And Arjuna sees these people, and he says, these people are worthy of my worship. Grandfather, we worship the grandfather, Bhishma. We worship our teacher. Drona was the teacher. He taught Arjuna. He blessed Arjuna that he would be the greatest archer in the world. He blessed Arjuna. Arjuna was the favorite student of Drona. So Arjuna sees all these people, and he thinks, how can I fight these people? They are worthy of my worship. And Lord, he says to Krishna, you are Madhusudana, you are the killer of the demon Madhu, but I will be Dronatara and Bhishmasara. I will be the killer of Bhishma and Drona. That is not very good. You're Madhusudana, the killer of a demon Madhu, but I'll be Dronadana, Bhishmadana. That's not, I don't want to be that. I get the name of the killer of my grandfather, the killer of my teacher. That will be terrible. That will be a disgrace. So Arjuna is worried that, this is not right, that I'm going to fight, I'm going to kill so many people, and all of these people, they're my relatives. It's not good. It's very, Arjuna's thinking, it's sinful if I will fight and kill all these people. So Arjuna is thinking what to do, what should I do? He does not just do it. They have that thing, Nike, just do it, right? That is Maya. You do it without thinking. If you do something without thinking, that is not good. Sometimes people do things very quickly. They'll do it without thinking about it. And then after they've done it, then they regret it. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, I don't know why I did that. We didn't think about it carefully. So it's very important not to just be controlled by the mind and senses. Just like sometimes you see something and you think, oh, that looks good, and you take it and you eat it, and after you eat it, you think, ooh, oh, I shouldn't have eaten this. We do things like that. We often do things impulsively, without thinking about it. But Arjuna is a very thoughtful person. He's very careful to think what he's doing. And that is the Prabhupada said, this is the nature of a devotee. A devotee has good qualities. One who is a devotee is blessed by all the demigods to have good qualities. But one who is not a devotee, he doesn't really have any good qualities. Even though he may be well educated, he may be a big scholar, he may be a rich man, he may be famous, whatever, but if he is not a devotee, he does not have any good quality. Because he's under the material energy. If he is not a devotee, then he is under the control of the Maya, the modes of nature. Sometimes tamagun, sometimes rajas, sometimes sattvagun. But the modes of nature control. People in the material world do not understand how they are controlled by the material nature. We were talking today in Kuala Lumpur in the morning class. We were talking about it was about Hiranyakashipu. How Hiranyakashipu wanted to get the position of Lord Brahma. Hiranyakashipu was doing austerity. He was doing tapasya. So we may think, oh, that's very good to do tapasya. But he's a demon. And he was doing tapasya to get power to do harm to others. So some people, they do austerity just to give trouble to others. Arjuna is a devotee, however. He has good qualities. He doesn't want to do harm to others. He's very compassionate and thoughtful, and he thinks how to help them. He's thinking, how can I benefit these people? So that is the nature of a devotee. A devotee cares about other people. Materialistic people who are not devotees are very selfish. They're very selfish. They only care about their own self. They think, what will I get? How much will you give me? What will you do for me? They don't care about others. They only think about their own self. But a devotee is not selfish. A devotee is selfless. He doesn't think about his own self, he thinks about others. That's the nature of a devotee. The devotee is blessed with good qualities because they've taken shelter of Lord Krishna. And because they've taken shelter of Lord Krishna, all the demigods bestow their blessings on the devotee. One who is a devotee gets the blessing of all the demigods. And one who is not a devotee, one who is not surrendered, they are under the control of the material energy, Maya. Right? So we have to choose. We have that independence. We have free will. Our free will is to choose surrender to Krishna or surrender the common people, materialistic people, they surrender to Maya because they're thinking, I am the body. They're thinking, I want to enjoy. They're thinking, I and mine. This is mine. This belongs to me. She's mine. Right? You're thinking like that. This is the bodily conception of life. But the devotee understands everything belongs to Krishna. And we should use everything for Krishna's service. And in this way, the devotee surrenders to Krishna. And when he surrenders to Krishna, then all the demigods are very pleased and they bestow their blessings on the devotee. So all the good qualities are there in the character of a devotee. But somebody else who's not a devotee, they may be very pious, they may be good, maintain their family, they may be gyanis, they may be scholars, a lot of knowledge, but if they're not devotee, then they're under the control of the material energy, prakriti. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duradhaya. So this Maya, Krishna said, my Maya. My Maya is very difficult to overcome. Because it's Krishna's energy. You want to overcome Maya? You try to fight it yourself? Very difficult. But Mameva ye prapajante mayam itam tarantite. If someone surrenders to Krishna, then he can easily cross over it. Why? Because they've surrendered to Krishna. And that Maya is under Krishna's control. So Krishna orders Maya, release that devotee. He's my devotee. Release him. So this is how it works. Just like I remember we used to go to take apples from someone's orchard. You know, they grow apples in the orchard, and we would go to the people's orchard to pick apples. But the man who had the orchard had a dog, and the dog would see us going picking apples. The dog would come running. The dog would say, "These are my apples. Why are you coming here?" You know. And we could, what would we do? We climb the tree, and the dog is barking. Give me my apples. The dog is barking. We don't have to get free. We have to wait for the owner of the dog to come. And when the owner of the dog comes, then he gets the dog under his control. And then we can come down the tree and go away. So the same way, Maya is like that. Maya is like the dog. Krishna is the controller of that. And he gets that he can let us free. But we have to surrender to Krishna. And then it's very easy. And how to surrender? We have to begin by chanting the holy name. Taking up Krishna consciousness begins when we start to chant the Maha Mantra. We awaken the spiritual energy. Everything is there in the holy name. The holy name is Krishna. And this is the Holy Name Week, right? This is the Holy Name Week. We've been having programs all week talking about the glories of the Holy Name. And all over the world, the devotees are trying to do special ago we had Bhadra Purnima. Bhadra Purnima is a special day. It's mentioned that if you give someone a set of Srimad Bhagavatam on the day of Bhadra Purnima, then you get to go back to Godhead. So we were distributing sets of Bhagavatams, and we were encouraging people also take a set of Bhagavatams and distribute it, or even keep it for yourself if you don't have one. And we were celebrating like that, getting people to read the books, to know about the Bhagavatam and hear about Krishna. And we were encouraging the devotees to do more kirtan, Harinam, Sankirtan, to do Sankirtan and let people hear the holy name. Because this is a holy name week. Every week's a holy name week, but especially this week, they wanted to make special efforts to try to give the holy name to people who never heard the holy name. Look, is it Nam Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nityamanto Bina Nam Nama Namano. The holy name of Krishna is described as Chintamani. It's the wish-fulfilling touchstone. It fulfills all of our desires. You have any desires? Just a few, right? Some desires. Yeah, of course. We all have desires, all of us. But this holy name, Nam Chintamani, it will fulfill all of our spiritual desires. And when you satisfy your spiritual desires, all your material desires will be forgotten. You give them all up because we'll be so satisfied with our spiritual desires. So the holy name is like that. It is the Kali Yuga. Kali Kali Namarupe Krishna Avatar. In the Kali Yuga, Lord Krishna comes in the form as His holy name. So we've been chanting, we're doing more chanting, we're encouraging people to chant. We had our convention last week, we did a big convention there down in Johor. Over 1,000 devotees came to Park. And then we had big programs also in Kuala Lumpur. Jayapataka Swami was there. He was also giving initiation and awarding shelter to many souls, encouraging them in the chanting of the holy name. We had the disappearance of Haridas Thakur. We had the appearance day of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and we had the day in which Prabhupada took sannyas, the Vishwarup Mahotsav, and Bhadra Purnima. So tomorrow is Rati Antrat also at Taman Santosa, and that will mark like the end of the Holy Name week with the Rati Antrat tomorrow. So we encourage all of you to come, if you can, take part in the Rath Yatra, chant the holy name and dance, and experience the bliss of the holy name in the association of many devotees. Okay? Are there any questions? Anybody? Yes, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Most of the mantras started with the syllable Om, whereby Mahamantra doesn't have the Om syllable. Why, Maharaj?
Well, Om represents Krishna. So we are chanting the holy name, Krishna. You don't need to put the Om there because it's not different from Krishna. We're already chanting the Supreme Lord's name. The mantra is made up of the holy name, the name of the Supreme Lord. So you don't need the Om there. But if you want to say Om, you can say Om Hare Krishna. If you want, it's up to you. You want to say, if you feel something's missing.
No, Maharaj, my question was, why in the Mahamantra there's no Om syllable?
Why does it need to be Om syllable?
Om represents Krishna.
But Krishna's name is there.
Oh, I see. I don't understand.
If Krishna's name is there, why do you need to repeat it? You've already, why you put Om, you've already got Krishna's name. It's all Krishna's name. Right? So you don't need to put Om. It would just be, it would be redundant. It would be repetition. It wouldn't make any sense. So that's why there's no Om.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. The purport in this today's sloka, it is mentioned in one of the verses that a devotee of the Lord develop all the good qualities of the devas. Okay, but sometimes when we read Bhagavatam, we come across devas also succumb to some inferior qualities. How to understand these matters? Why the comparison is given? Why the devotee develop good qualities of demigods? Because when we see demigods also sometimes they succumb to some inferior qualities like Lord Brahma and Indra. Sometimes due to enviousness they succumb to inferior qualities. So what qualities we are referring to here when it is mentioned the devotee develop all good qualities of the devas?
Well, that's what's there. The good qualities, not the bad qualities. Right? They may have some small quantity of bad quality. Just like, Lord Brahma stole away the cows, he wanted to see the power of Krishna. Okay, that was a fault on his part. Indra was proud. Krishna humbled him. So then again, the demigods, they have some problems. Understand the demigods are not pure devotees. They're not pure devotees. They're elevated souls. They've got a lot of piety, and that's why they've got the position of demigods. But they have material desires. They have strong desires for control. They want to be in charge of something. So Lord Krishna satisfies their something. Okay, you'll be in charge of rain. Okay, you're the wind god. Okay, you're the sun god. Gives them a position. And, very good. I'm the sun god. I'm the wind god. They're happy. They've got the position. But sometimes they forget that they're the servant of the Supreme Lord. Sometimes they forget. But still they're very pious. They're very elevated souls. So the good qualities are there. They will give the good quality. There's some bad qualities are there. But that's not what they're giving to the devotee. They're blessing. They're giving their blessings to the devotee. And they bless with their good qualities. So we have to understand many demigods, while they're important people and we respect them, they're not pure devotees. In the Nectar of Devotion it's stated, one whose lips are always decorated with prayers to Lord Krishna is always given respect by great saintly persons, and such people are actually worshipable by by the demigods. So the demigods, they worship the pure devotees. That's why they give their blessings on us. Because they know these are great souls. These souls who have no material desires. They think, oh, they're very great souls. Give them my blessing. Bless them.
Hare Krishna. யாரும் தமிழ்ல கேட்கணும்னா சொல்லுங்க, நம்ம இங்கிலீஷ்ல மகாராஷ்டிரா எனக்கு கேட்குன்னு சொல்லு தமிழ்ல. His question was, Karna was in Kaurava's side. Karna was in Kaurava's side. You want to make sure whether Karna, after he left the body, he went to which world? Karna.
Where did he go? He had a flight for Karna. He was the first son of Kunti, the eldest of the Pandavas. But the Pandavas didn't know they had an older brother. So Karna was killed in the battle. So where did he go? Well, he has an eternal relationship with Lord Krishna. He had to come, somehow it was arranged, he had to come and play that role. He had to come and be the friend of Duryodhana and fight against the Pandavas and be killed by them also. So, he would go back to his abode in the spiritual world. People like Abhimanyu was interesting. You know, Abhimanyu, he got killed early on in the battle of Kurukshetra. It said what happened then. I read somewhere that Abhimanyu, he was the son of the sun god. And they wanted that the son of the sun, they wanted him to come to take part in the pastimes on earth. So the sun god said, oh, well, he can go, but he shouldn't stay too long. I want him back as soon as possible. So it happened that in the battle of Kurukshetra, while he was still a teenage boy, he was killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. And then he went back to his position on the son of the sun god. So he was conceived by the semen of the sun god also, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you don't know. Did he go back again to be with the sun god? I don't know.
Maharaj என்ன சொன்னாருன்னா, இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து கிருஷ்ணரோட லீலையில வந்து பங்கெடுக்க வந்தவங்க இருக்கணும். ஸோ அவங்களுடைய கடமை முடிஞ்சவங்க, அவங்க எந்த உலகத்திலிருந்து வந்தாங்களோ அந்த லோகத்துக்கே மறுபடியும் போகிறார். ஸோ கருணர் வந்து அவங்க அப்பா வந்து சூரிய பகவான். ஸோ அவர் மறுபடியும் சூரிய பகவானுடைய போயிருக்காங்க. அதே மாதிரி அபிமன்யுவும் திரும்பி அவருடைய தந்தையரோட இன்னொரு சூரிய பகவான். வேற எதுவும் கேள்விகள் இருந்தால் சொல்லுங்க.
Krishna Guru Maharaj, peace and Guru Princess Author Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, just now you mentioned that devotees they have all the godly qualities, Guru Maharaj. And all devotees have all the divine qualities, godly qualities, devotees, all good qualities. So I was remembering Pundarik Vidyanidhi, like in the beginning, I think, to Gadadhar Pandit, he did not display his true nature as a devotee, and Gadadhar Pandit was initially put off by the fact Pundarik Vidyanidhi had a lot of women around him and in a very luxurious lifestyle. So Guru Maharaj, my question is, he is such a great devotee, why did he conceal his nature like that? Why did he pretend to show these negative qualities? Yes.
Well, he showed his qualities as a devotee. When the situation arose, when he heard the verse from the Bhagavatam, then it awakened his bhava, and he showed his ecstasy. But he's not always in bhava. It's not 24 hours you have to be in bhava. But when he heard that verse from the Bhagavatam, then it awakened his bhava. But he's a normal person. He liked to just be a normal person. He didn't want to make a show. He didn't want people to think, oh, I'm a great devotee or anything like that. He just behaved like a normal person. He was wealthy, so he dressed like a wealthy man. And he enjoyed some luxuries because he was a wealthy person. He had a big estate. Just because he's a great devotee doesn't mean he has to be poor. Great devotees can also be very rich and very opulent. You can't judge a devotee just by their dress and just by how they're living. But you have to see how they behave, how they react, how they chant the holy name, and how eager they are to hear about Krishna. So Gadadhar, he made the mistake. He was thinking, oh, Pundarik Vidyanidhi is just a materialistic person. He made that mistake. But then when he saw his ecstasy and love of Krishna, then he understood he's a great devotee. And so he surrendered to him, took his initiation from him. The Pundarik Vidyanidhi is not different from Maharaj Vrishabhanu in Krishna Lila. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Maharaj Vrishabhanu. He came in Chaitanya Lila, Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And we have that land, we have that Pundarik Dham in Bangladesh, we have a ISKCON center there. We donated to the society, and devotees there have renovated the place and made it, restored it to some of its proper condition. Okay? Any other questions?